So the first step in making this coconut lemongrass soap is to prepare my lye solution. Now, if you guys have watched my other soap making videos, you know that I master batch my lye at a 1.7 to 1 water to lye ratio. But this, we're adding liquid coconut milk, so I can't use what I already have master batches. I'm gonna have different amounts of liquid today with the addition of the coconut milk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to do a partial liquid replacement rather than a full liquid replacement. So if you were gonna do all coconut milk, which probably is not recommended, you'd wanna freeze it first. But I'm actually gonna do a 1-to-1 water to lye ratio, and then the 0.7 I'm going to add in the coconut milk. So I'm still gonna have a 1.7 liquid to 1 lye ratio, but it's gonna be about, you know, some water and some coconut milk, if that makes sense. Sorry if that sounded rambly. So I'm just preparing my scale. I'm gonna measure out the lye. Tear out my scale. Oh, that's why I was hitting the wrong button. Okay. So sodium hydroxide lye, I need 153 grams. Now, because I haven't prepped this in advance and I want the lye water to be at room temperature when I use it, I am going to be using ice to mix my water to lye ratio. So notice that I already have on my hairnet, my gloves, and my long sleeve soaping shirt, as well as my eyewear to be safe while doing this. So I'm gonna be adding the lye directly to the ice, and it is going to cause a reaction that's gonna melt this pretty quickly. And the reason that we want the lye to be at room temperature when we add the coconut milk is because we don't want to scorch it. We don't want to burn the sugars that are in the coconut milk. And why are we using coconut milk in a bar? Well, a couple reasons. It adds a nice lather and finish to the bar, and it also adds more moisturizing properties to the bar. And it's also a nice way to keep it plant-based. Milk soaps are very popular. Goat milk soap is very popular, but I always have people who ask for a plant-based bar. So this way, we're kind of adding a milk soap, but it's a plant-based milk. So I am just stirring this till all of the ice is melted from the lye. And I'm just really curious, so I'm hitting it with my heat gun here. It says it's 60 degrees. It's so interesting. So we started with frozen ice, and we've added the lye, and it's already climbed. Now it's a little bit over 70 degrees. Now it's up to about 100. So you can see it's still gonna get really hot despite the ice being used. That's okay, we just want it to dissolve in here. Okay, so I'm gonna set this out of the way in a safe spot, and meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and get my oils melted down. I will link the video. I have my oils already master batched. I just take my recipe, multiply it, store it in these buckets. And I have a whole video about that, which I will link if you are interested in checking that out. While my main soaping oils are melting, I'm going to weigh out my lemongrass essential oil. And today I'm just using pure lemongrass essential oil. It's the only oil, it's a single oil, it's not a blend today. And lemongrass is very popular for cold process soap because it sticks well. Not all of the essential oils remain strong and scent after the saponification process happens. And I have learned why that is actually. So I used to think that it was just because of how hot the soap gets when it goes through the saponification process, but actually some of the essential oil itself does saponify. There's a percentage of it that is saponifiable. And then the other thing is they just simply evaporate during the curing process. So the older the bar is, the less it's gonna smell. So yeah, that's why some oils just really don't survive the saponification process at all. And then others will smell originally and then fade over time. But lemongrass tends to be one that sticks the longest. I'm just checking my calculation to make sure I did the correct number of grams here. Yep, awesome. Okay. So a bit more of a word about the coconut milk that I'm using today. I'm using coconut milk from the can, so it's in a liquid form. You can also get powdered coconut milk, AKA dehydrated coconut milk, and add it at trace. This is what I had on hand, so this is what I am using. Be careful and read the ingredients on the can. A lot of these cans of coconut milk come with preservatives and guar gum as well. So this one does actually have guar gum in it because with 3 different brands, I cannot find one without it. I am okay with using guar gum as an ingredient because it is a natural ingredient. It's a powder made from grinding the seeds of a plant, and it's used in a lot to thicken a lot of food products. So I'm okay with that from, maintaining the integrity of the natural ingredients in my bars, but it is a thickener and it does thicken by absorbing moisture. So I am a little bit concerned that this may trace really fast. So we're just gonna give it a go and see how it goes here. But if you are worried about that, dehydrated coconut milk in a powdered form is a great option, added at trace. This one has separated, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a stick blender, and then I'll be measuring out the portion that I'm gonna use in this recipe. And some of you guys know that I love to keep my stick blender in a large mason jar. I also use like the half-gallon size mason jar a lot. It's a great way to stand it up and keep it out of the way, and you can also clean it in between different colors when you're making colorful batches of soap. I got that tip from the soap gal, Joanna. She has a great, very, very helpful channel, so check her out. Wow, it is so thick and creamy and beautiful. I cannot wait to really just see how it makes a difference in my soap bars. I should also add that this is my first time ever using coconut milk in soap, so I am thrilled to see how it goes. I thought a lot about the design for today's soap, and ultimately I've decided to go with just something very simple, which is just to mix a small amount of poppy seeds into the batter. It gives a beautiful natural looking specks as well as just a slight bit of exfoliation. And I think that's best not to try to do a lot of colors and designs since this is a new recipe that I am trying, and I'm afraid that it will trace quickly because of the guar gum. So I'm gonna add just about a 1/4 teaspoon of these poppy seeds. And what else was I gonna mention? Oh, the lemongrass essential oil is naturally a yellow color. So this bar is going to have a yellow tint anyway, and I think it's just gonna come out looking rustic and simple and natural, and that's what I like. Okay, my oils are melted. I usually heat them only till they're just combined, because I like to soap at around 95 degrees. And it takes me about 100 degrees to get everything melted, so I try to wait a few minutes just to let it cool slightly before I continue. So I'm gonna go ahead and weigh out the amount of oil that I need. I like to use grams as a measurement. When I first started with soap making, I used ounces because a lot of beginner recipes that you find online are in ounces. But grams is a smaller unit of measurement than ounces, so it's much more accurate. And I find that that's a good way to go. But if you use soap calc, for example, to calculate your recipes, it does it in grams, ounces, or pounds. So it just depends on what you want to use and how much you are making. So I need to measure out 1,048 grams. Cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my coconut milk in. So I'm going to tear out my scale. I need 110 grams of coconut milk. Awesome. This will get used for recipes. Now I like to add my other additives before adding the lye. I wait till the last to add the lye. So I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of white kaolin clay. I'm going to go ahead and give this a mix. It's going to be so creamy between the kaolin clay and the coconut milk. I'm also going to go ahead and add in my poppy seeds, 1/4 of a teaspoon. And my lemongrass essential oil. Beautiful yellow color. Try to get every last drop there. Right on. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my lye solution. I am, as I mentioned, a little concerned that this may trace quickly. So we'll just see. We'll work quickly if we have to. My batter right now, ooh, that's great. It's at about 87 degrees. I'm happy with that. So I am going to gently run the blender while I add this. So it's looking pretty good here. You can see we already have a trace. I already have a light trace, so really don't need to blend this much more. We'll get it in the mold. Smells amazing. So it smells absolutely incredible. I think I got the right amount of poppy seed. You just want a few flecks. You don't want it to be overrun with poppy seeds. And this is my first time doing this again with the coconut milk, and I'm very happy. I can tell that it is different than my normal recipe. I make soap every week, and it's definitely different, but it's very creamy, and I'm pretty excited to see how this develops as it hardens overnight. I will be cutting it tomorrow morning and filming that, so stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. And now for the fun part, I'm gonna add a little bit of texturing to the top of this. Okay, this is a beautiful, creamy log of soap that I'm gonna cut into bars, and I am so excited. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the cut. Okay, it's a little over an hour after I poured this soap, so I just wanna check on it, see how hot it's getting, and I'm hoping that it doesn't crack. So it looks really creamy and smooth. Let me see what our temperature we're reading here. So it's 119 degrees right now. I think it's beautiful. It definitely is creamier than my other recipe. Good morning, guys. It's the next morning and approximately 12 hours since I poured this log of my creamy coconut and lemongrass soap. It smells amazing, it looks great, so I'm gonna unmold it real quick. I had just a tiny bit of cracking along one side, you really almost can't tell. So this is pulled away from the sides of the mold pretty easily, which is a really good sign. I'll mention now that I don't force the gel on my bars. I like to not do the gel phase. I just prefer the consistency, in case any other soapers are wondering. Oh, this came out of the mold so easily. Nice, clean, smooth lines. Really looks like a beautiful, solid log soap. And I will usually unmold and cut my soaps anywhere between 12 to 24 hours after pouring for this particular recipe. Another thing I wanted to mention, guys, is I keep a soap notes notebook anytime I try a new recipe, a new essential oil blend, any variations on the bars. I keep detailed notes about the trace, the texture of the bar, all the different qualities that I might want to know. Helps me to perfect my recipes before they go to market. So now for the fun part, let's get into cutting this bar. I'm going to take just a sliver off the edge, and that will be going to my pieces and ends batches. Smells amazing. The lemongrass came through great. Beautiful. Beautiful bar. I love the creaminess. It's a reason that I don't gel my bars. I gotta get the baby. Hey! Okay, my little one is rolling everywhere. He's just 4.5 months old and he's at a really fun stage. So I gotta keep an eye on him while I make these videos. So yeah, I think we achieved what I was going for. I wanted it to be simple, rustic, clean and beautiful, and I achieved all that. I'm actually gonna bevel these edges as well. It's something that I just started doing. I resisted doing it for quite a long time, but I really like the way that it turns out. Hi. Now for beveling the edge of your soap, all you need is a simple potato peeler. And we just round the edges. I can tell from doing this as well, the creaminess of the bar. It's a bit softer and creamier than my other recipe that I like to sell most often. So yeah, you just go around each corner, each edge, and I like it. It does give a more finished look to the bar. Now they do make beveling tools where you could do this a bit faster, but I just started doing this and I haven't found the need to invest in one of those yet. And then all these little shavings I save for my confetti bars of soap. I have a video about that as well. If you'd like to see how I make confetti soap, I'll link that as well. So my soap still needs to cure for about 3 to 4 weeks, but I wanted to test the lather and the feel of the soap. So this is one of the end pieces, and soap is safe to use like right after it's saponified. I would wait about 24 hours and it is safe to use. It's just that as it cures, it loses more of the water content and becomes harder and a longer lasting bar. So I can go ahead and use this. Okay. So what I can tell immediately is there's lots of nice bubbles. It's a beautiful, silky, very smooth feel. I really like that. And you also got the little bit of exfoliation from the poppy seeds. Just look at that lather. That's nice. You could, I mean, look at that. You could even use that as a shave bar. So, wow, it does feel very luxurious. I'm totally happy with this. Rinses off. Smells wonderful. And now for some more beautiful footage of these cut bars. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. This soap, as well as other soaps in my collection, are available on my online store, which will be linked below. Please subscribe for more videos like this, and I look forward to seeing you next time.